Good evening and welcome to the evening news. I am Kayode Adebayo. The federal government has urged retailers to reflect the reduction in food prices and showing exploitation of consumers. The Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Abubakar Kyari, stated this during the 2025 Wheat Farmers Greenfield Day at Dabe Village in Ringim local government area of Jigawa State. The minister decried the nonchalant attitude of retailers to reflect the reduction in their sales, despite a drop in prices, describing it as unpatriotic and unacceptable. He added that the federal government is aware of the significant drop in the prices of food items across major markets, particularly for essential commodities such as flour, sugar, rice, and pasta. Kyari reiterated the government's commitment to ensure food availability and engage with relevant stakeholders to reflect the current market realities. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has called for collaboration between the public and private sectors to boost the country's revenue generation. This comes as the government said it is now focusing on non-oil sector as a way of diversifying the revenue base. The minister said this at the opening of the 5th edition of the National Treasury Workshop themed Nigeria's Revenue Challenges and the Way Forward, Exploring Non-Oil Alternatives, held in Abuja. Mr. Edun said the workshop was not just an annual event, but also a strategic platform for fostering collaborations, exchange of ideas, and expanding knowledge on growth and economic stability. He said the recent global shifts in energy policies, declining oil demand, and fluctuating crude prices have moved it abundantly clear that Nigeria cannot afford to be overly dependent on oil revenues. The minister added that Nigeria is blessed with abundant natural and human resources that remain largely untapped, noting that several non-oil sectors have demonstrated strong potential for revenue generation, job creation, and economic transformation. He noted that the government is already taking bold steps to tackle these issues through reforms in public financial management, digitalization of revenue collection, and strengthening of tax administration. Oyo State Governor Mr. Seyi Makinde has called for greater involvement of subnational government in Africa's trade and investment landscape, emphasizing that real economic integration must begin at the state and regional levels. Speaking at the Africa Business Forum in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Makinde urged the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa to actively engage subnational entities to drive economic growth. Makinde noted that while discussions on trade, investment, and economic integration often take place at the national level, implementation largely rests with subnational. According to him, Oyo State has leveraged agribusiness to drive economic expansion, import substitution, and foreign exchange generation. The governor highlighted the Fashola Agribusiness Industrial Hub as a major success, attracting interest from within and outside Nigeria. He stressed that Africa's future lies in cross-border economic partnerships and an enabling environment for trade and investment. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued an amended order detailing new threshold of penalties for customers and distribution companies, DISCOs, on unauthorized access, meter tampering, and bypass. In a statement by the NERC, the amended order has replaced the order that was made in 2017 and became effective since last month. The statement added that the order aligns with the Electricity Act 2023 and the Customer Protection Regulations 2023, which allow DISCOs to disconnect unauthorized connections without notice and prescribe reconnection conditions. According to NERC, the order aims to achieve two objectives. First, to reduce unauthorized access to electricity compliance. The electricity regulator provides key provisions on reconnection condition charges, administrative charges, and compensation. The order also said customers meters or gain unauthorized access must pay administrative charges, including meter replacement cost and reconnection cost. The Senate has summoned the National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, the Director General of the Department of State Services, Mr. Adeola Ajayi, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed, to brief it behind closed door on the veracity or otherwise of allegation that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, is a key sponsor of terrorism, including Boko Haram, in the country. The resolution of the Senate followed its consideration and approval of a motion titled Urgent Need to Investigate the Alleged Funding of Boko Haram by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, sponsored by Senator Aline Dume during plenary. However, no date has been set for the heads of the nation's intelligence agencies to appear before the Senate. At least 450 foreign service officers in 109 Nigerian missions abroad have yet to receive their salaries for the past 5 months. The acting spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimebi Biemfa, acknowledged the financial challenges facing the Nigerian missions and assured that the leadership is working to resolve the issue. The officials serving under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are in financial distress and cannot meet their financial obligations. However, the federal government proposed 53 billion naira to renovate 103 foreign missions this year, as the funds will cover various needs, including renovations of chanceries, staff quarters, ambassadors' residences, purchase of office furniture, and official vehicles, among others. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, admitted insufficient funding for essential embassy operations and ambassadorial support. He said the President is working on the situation and it will be done in due course, attributing the financial situation to poor funding and delays in the 2025 budget passage. The Osun State Ministry of Women Affairs, Children and Social Welfare has found a 1-year-old baby girl abandoned by an unknown person in Ikiron, a Felodun local government area of the state. This was disclosed in a statement jointly signed by the Commissioner for the Ministry, Mrs. Ayobola Olowo, and the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Abimbola Babatunde. The statement added that all efforts made by the police and the social workers department of the ministry to the biological parents of the baby girl were fruitless. The ministry enjoined members of the public to assist with any useful information that may lead to the location of the girl's parents or relatives. And now to sport. The host of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, Morocco, are considering an international friendly between the Atlas Lions and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The Royal Moroccan Football Federation has lined up a series of friendly matches to ensure the team is in top shape ahead of the competition. The Atlas Lions are looking to add Nigeria, Senegal, and Cote d'Ivoire to their pre-tournament schedule after confirming a friendly with Republic of Benin. Morocco's last AFCON campaign ended in disappointment as they were eliminated in the round of 16 following a 2-0 defeat to South Africa. The upcoming wild friendlies are seen as crucial steps in their bid for redemption in 2025. Morocco, who replaced Guinea as the host of the biennial tournament, is determined to make history by winning the trophy on home soil. In a related development, coach General has confirmed that Benin Republic will play a friendly match against Morocco as part of their preparations for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Now on the foreign scene, African leaders have approved a fund to provide concessional lending to cash-strapped governments at the 37th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union AU Summit at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Beset by debt and billions of dollars in unfunded priorities, African heads of state said the call for concessional lending to create the facilities was made in 2022 as the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine drove sovereign defaults and debt crisis in developing countries. According to reports, the facility known as the African Financial Stability Mechanism will be managed by the African Development Bank. The bank said in a statement that the facility will have its own credit rating and will be able to borrow from international money markets, and membership of the fund will be voluntary and open to any member state of the African Union. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Please join us at 7 for major reports. Good evening.